Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm back.
Hey, Luke Wright is back. So why are we here? So at the time, this was just before Luke Wright had proven and passed his test. He is an advanced motorcyclist and advanced biker. But before that, we had one more check ride with Tim, and he is a ex-police motorcyclist, ex-police officer. And so it is worth watching this because it is quite interesting. So let's get into it. Yeah.
It's showtime.
It's Tim! Hello, dude! We've got another dude over here. Yeah, okay. Hello! Hey! I was gonna get her out of the way, just in case car drivers come along. Mud.
That's what I want to know.
Who put a van there? Thank you, Tim. I'm just going to pop her into gear because we're on a downward slope, so it's always nice to have the gearbox just supporting side stand. I think that's in gear. Yeah, she's in gear. We're in and secure and safe. Nice to see you, Tim. Hey. Nice to see you again. How have you been?
Need a check ride now.
Oh, you don't need to check ride. He's like, fucking hell, he's a pro already.
Man last week.
Oh, that's really kind. Hey, thank you, dude.
Cool.
It's all good. That's really kind. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah.
That's the main thing. Even after the rookie ride, I went, do you know what? This isn't the end of the rookie ride for me. I still went towards Morton Hampstead.
Well, after the cafe stop, I shot off on my own then.
Yeah.
My own stuff that didn't.
Ah.
Went and did that, so.
That's a good call. It's every even if every little bit of experience, it just helps, doesn't it?
Even driving ships, you've got more experience. I'm used to sink though, Tim.
Oh shit, yeah. I'll be like, yeah.
I'll leave you to it, I'm taking up your valuable.
Oh, it's all good. It's nice to see you, dudes. I'll see you again. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, nice van too, Mercedes-Benz.
How you doing? You alright?
Ah, good. How could everyone to Luke Rides? Luke Rides is back here at the channel. This is our second check ride, our second test ride, our second ride here at Luke Rides that says, is Luke Rides at a stage, is he at a standard where he is so good that he's actually ready for his advanced motorcycle test, his advanced biker test? And that's what we're going to do today. Again, just make it very clear and check my mirrors, and then we'll just accelerate on. The wind is affecting the steering of the XT. You can actually feel it. I actually feel a little bit of a wiggle and instability here and there, so we just got to factor that in as best that we can, even into our overtakes. We need to factor that in. And again, national speed limit to remind you on the speed limit. And we've got slow traffic at the moment. Slow traffic, which we're now gonna up, which we are now going to a 40. Right, we're now going into a 40. So we are going to check our mirrors again and adhere to 40 miles an hour. Because that is the current speed limit, and again watching what the car drivers are doing in front of us with traffic lights coming up in about 300 yards. So going over the crest of the hill. What we've now got to factor in is see there's braking up ahead. But what we want to do, position ourselves in such a way that we're in the wing mirror of that big Honda. So that there's lots of distance for that little Honda to see us in his mirrors, and to make it very clear that we're there, which is quite important. Plus it gives you a filtering opportunity, if there is one, to just power on if the traffic is slow enough. So again, we're just keeping our eyes out, watching for that traffic lights, watching what's happening behind us. We know we're not in the way, so that's good to hear. That's the main thing. In neutral, just sitting there very comfortably, and so far so good. You can feel the lack of grip in the tyres. In the Enduro Yamaha XT, because she's tall and her tread pattern is narrow, you can feel it when it just starts to lose grip. Not so much in a Z1000 SX or a Kawasaki, because the contact patch is larger and consistent and wider, so you get more of a stability feeling. We're not on an XT. So there's still a red light up ahead, so we're just going to power on and enjoy the ride in the absolute dismal weather that we do actually have in Britain at the moment. Okay, and we are clear, and we're just waiting for that Honda to now pull out, which it is, which we now, that's it, fine for us to now pull out as well, and ourselves an applicable braking distance that we're quite comfortable with, and then we just got to push on. Fantastic. There's a filtering opportunity, we're going to find it and we're going to take it. Just ignore Tim, pretend Tim's not there. Just pretend he's not there. And it gives you that ability just to focus. Don't be distracted. Tim's there to watch you, he just wants to see you ride. That's what he wants. And Tim is actually, funny enough, is actually an ex-rider. He's actually, he spent a lot of his working life in the police force. So he's an ex-constable, and not only was he an ex-constable, he was a motorcycle police rider. So he was very much on it, as they would like to say. And so he has skills and training and knowledge that Luke Rides can only aspire to if you catch Luke Rides drift. We're now in a left position because we're position 1, because we're coming into a lovely right hand corner, looking ahead, scanning the road ahead, and we've got coming traffic, so we can't really take a position 3, or else we would do. And then looking here, we want to now take a position 3. Into the bridge, we now want to take a position 2. And the rain is, yeah, very constant at the moment. Luckily we've got all of our weather gear on, so that's fantastic. So hopefully we should be pretty strong. But again, tyres, seat tyres, you can feel it in the XT. She just doesn't want to grip like a, I don't know, get more traffic, so more traffic and more traffic. So we're just going to keep focusing on the ride, and we'll come back to you here at Luke Rides with where we are. Hello everyone at Luke Rides. Luke Rides is back here at the channel, and what we're doing now is we're coming through into a beautiful area called the Moors, which is absolutely gorgeous. We're keeping ourselves an applicable braking distance away from that van. We are looking for, if it's possible, potential overtaking opportunities where Luke Rides feels that it is safe to do so while staying in the mirror of that van driver, but he has got some decent pace on him, so Luke Rides is not absolutely sure where, and overtaking and on the brakes. There we go. Make sure you stay in the line of sight of that van driver. His only way to know you're there is his mirrors. It doesn't have anything else to let him know that you're there. So keep yourself a good braking distance. What you're also doing as well is you're giving yourself the ability to try and see ahead of the van, to see if there either is a hazard up ahead, or if there's a danger up ahead, or potential overtaking opportunity. But you're not going to figure that out. You're going to figure out a braking opportunity if there is a hazard ahead if you're up close to that van. You're not going to find an opportunity, man. You just got to take it easy. Wait for the right opportunity. Look for debris on the road. Remember, you're in a Yamaha XT, so it's kind of like, and there comes another vehicle. Another vehicle again. Now we're just trying to find where it is, and that's over Brother Hill, so Luke Rides is not going to do that. You can't see what's up ahead, you can't see if there's an oncoming vehicle, a fellow motorcyclist, you can't, which is annoying. And these roads don't really aren't the sort of roads that give you the sort of opportunities you might be looking for when it comes to an overtaking. Oh god, I felt that in the steering, you know, the wind as well is not helping because you feel it in the forks. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. So you are trying to look for an opportunity, and a big Enduro does not have the braking power of the likes of the Z1000SX or anything like that with lots of power. It's not there. Possibly on this one, but then that means Luke Rides has to close the gap, and it's kind of, he's not in the field of view of that van driver. Plus, does he have the power? Luke Rides doesn't think he quite has the power to do it. It doesn't feel like he does. It's XT, you've really got to fucking rev her out. Bop, bop, bop. Doesn't have the stability, you see. Oh, come on. Oh, blind corner. Can't see the head. I mean, you can see just past the van, but then if there's an oncoming vehicle there, you're not going to see it. So it's too late. I just don't have the torque and power. Power. Dodge that manhole cover. Yes. Possibly an opportunity coming up, but Luke Rides will have to be quick. See, looking over the hedge, looking over the perimeter, actually does look pretty clear. It works up ahead. and then coming to a gentle stop. Shows lights here when the lights are right here. Ah, whoa, bloody wind. Bloody wind. That was quite an overtake, that was. Quite an overtake. Luke Rides hopefully planned it pretty well, but there's only one way to know. So we're just waiting at the traffic lights now. We're just making progress, getting up to the speed limit. Probably. It's difficult, isn't it? You've got to make a judgment call, and sometimes your judgment calls work out really well, and then sometimes they don't. It just kind of varies. It is difficult, you know. There's no perfect science to being an advanced motorcyclist, an advanced biker, being an elite biker. There's no set way you can do it. You just got to figure it out on your own. Okay, while trying to look ahead, again, looking at that. This is a bit where you just got to be a little bit on guard because of vehicles, and then we're going into a bit of a blind corner. Okay, and okay, let's just keep a pace. So trying to stick to Luke Rides, trying to stick to 30. It is not easy, and we know we have a lovely braking distance, so that's fantastic. I know there's no vehicles behind me. That would be a hazard effect to me. That's good. And then just got to keep on going. Now we've got leaves and road, and we have got all sorts. Clear. Again, clear. And now we've just got to open her up. Stability. You want a big enduro. Oh my god. The stability is not the same. The trick is, when it comes to this sort of riding, is to think of it as if your observer isn't there. Just to think of it like that. They're not there. Just pretend they're not there. You're just riding on your own, using all the skills that you've learned, that you had built up over the years. Over a brow of a hill. Could be a car overtaking, so I don't want to risk it. It's difficult. When you're on an enduro, you just don't have that instant steering like you do on a lot of bigger motorcycles. But like right now, the XT just doesn't feel very stable. As you start the wind bashing away at her. Be on it as best it can, and then it's the lock so I can see me. Yes, it does, so that's a good thing. Car, so I'm going to get back into position 2. So I saw the car over the hedges, and then beautiful, just in a loveliness. Into the sweeper, into the sweeper, into the sweeper, beautiful, into position 3, trying to look over the hedge if it's possible, and now we have potentially man coming up on us. Whoa! The question is, what do we do? Well, we lost our opportunity. I'm just going to kind of stay away from that if I can. And then checking your mirrors again, looking for when will be the right opportunity. That could be at any time, but again, you want to do your best to be in the mirrors of that massive, great big motorhome if you can, and giving that motorhome some sort of braking distance. Oh, look, it's actually still recording. Okay, and we're just waiting. Again, mirror check. So again, there's not an opportunity here. There's possibly one coming up though that we might be able to use, but it's a tricky one, isn't it? So going up a hill, so we don't want to be in position 3. So overtaking traffic. Now we could go into a position 3. But we can see that the oncoming vehicles over the hedgerow, so we haven't got an opportunity there. What Luke Wright's trying to do though is he is trying to, if he can, look beyond that, beyond the hedges, but he can't seem to. The XT just doesn't have the torque and power for that sort of gap. She doesn't. Luke Wright knows the XT well enough to know she doesn't have the credentials to an overtake like that. Possibly on a, well, big ass. Possibly on the Z1000SX, but not on the XT. The XT just doesn't have the torque. She just doesn't have the torque on the power to just overtake on a corner with distance like that. It's not going to work. So really what you now got to do as an advanced motorcyclist and elite biker is just bide your time and just wait, keeping your distance, because you need to want to be in the mirror of that great big motorhome, or they won't know you're there. Thus you can, or they can, become a risk as they cannot see you. Thank you. And that's so great. So that's what we've done so far here at Luke Rides on our second check ride. So we will literally carry on. Could do, but gap closed though. It's not safe. Safe enough for Luke Rides, anyways. Feels safe enough. To wait for the right gap. So we're trying to look past the hedges again, the hedgerows. Is there a gap? I can't see a hedge, you see. I'm trying to look for a gap, but and then over the hills, so no, there's not an opportunity there. Not yet. Keep on going. There will be an opportunity coming up that Luke Rides might be able to exploit. It's clear up the top of the hill, but the XT doesn't have the power. She doesn't have the power. You just know it. She doesn't have the power. She just doesn't have it. It's great stuff. So we're going to hit the kind of the halfway mark now here at Luke Rides, and then what we'll do is we'll just continue it from there. And wow, what a lovely check ride so far. It's so far so good, and it's all good. A lot of fun so far. Yeah. Now in a beautiful little town in the Cotswolds, out here in, hello everyone, Luke Rides, in the little villages that run alongside a lot of the bigger towns as well. A lot of the bigger towns where you get more of these cottages style, like houses. You get more of those beautiful, like beige colours sometimes, and you just get a slightly different experience when you're out here. So we've covered quite a bit of distance so far. We've got a good overtaking opportunity on as well the motorhome, so we've done pretty good there. We managed to make up and managed to make that one up, so that was good. Now I remember the speed limit 60 during the test, so you might as well. So you've got to try and stick to that, although that's not bloody easy. I mean, it's not easy when you, especially when you're on a big motorcycle with lots of torque and power. She doesn't really enjoy going slow. It's not what she was designed for. It's not what having a big engine's about. So when you have that, you've got to kind of try and compensate with the throttle. It's not easy. And then again, we're still going into a right corner. So okay, we're now going into a 40 limit. So we've now got to reduce our speed and gearing. Gearing. And then again, just stick to that speed, looking ahead where applicable, where you can, and then we're dropping down into effectively a 30. So now we've got gear, and then down a gear, now another gear, because that's just a gear that the XT appreciates. It appreciates this gear once, this gear more than anything else. And then we've got to keep an eye out, so we can see there's a van coming. So what we're going to do is just come a little left, in case that van is going for an overtake, which it is. And as we see, I'm going back into a position 2. Now we just got to stick to this. And then we've got to go through all these little towns, so we'll be going through all sorts of speed limits. Again, a 40-40, so we know. And now we can really start picking up the pace. Pace, and again, just a nice steady pace. Although it's not easy when you've got a big engine. It doesn't really want to do slow. It doesn't. She doesn't want to do slow. She really doesn't. It's not on her vocabulary. Not on a 660cc engine. Yeah, so we're going quite good now. We're going into another roundabout as well, checking mirrors when appropriate. Give way, there's nothing oncoming, so we know there's nothing oncoming on the ramp. Still technically a 40. We can still stick to that. Okay, we've got quite a sharp bend coming up, indicating left. Again, we're looking right. Alrighty, we have a vehicle, but apart from that, we are looking pretty good. Still on a 40, still in a 40, so we're going uphill as well. Can't really see what's up ahead now. The little car's got to 40. Yeah, we just need to just match our speed really, the best that we can. Just match our speed where appropriate. Just match our speed. Stick into that 40. Now we're going into the national speed limit, so we're going to be able to start picking things up. But the question is that probably that little Ford, that little Ford's already going. So it's quite tricky, isn't it? It's like, how do you overtake the Ford? How do you overtake the Ford? Because the Ford's already doing the national speed limit, which is at the moment, which is 60. But we are gaining, but we're gaining ever so slowly. And we've got a bus coming up ahead, so there's no overtaking. Overtaking opportunities there. And we've got to. This little Ford's actually doing quite well. Oh, bugger! See, on your national test, how the flag are you supposed to overtake this little Ford? This little Ford is just, it's fucking on it. This little Ford's going for it. Little Ford, it's like, I'll do this national speed limit. It's like, oh fuck, so am I. So yeah, we're doing quite well. We just got to keep up this lovely work as well. Keep up this lovely work and maintain the speed limit. Maintain the speed limit. We've got the Ford is now braking. Repeat, the Ford is now braking. Ford is braking into a 30. Okay, already to a 30. Okay, check your mirrors. Check your mirrors. Give way to oncoming vehicles. Oh, luckily, no oncoming vehicles, so that's a good thing. Okay, we're going to check our sides, and then we're going to come out. It's a 30 limit, so there's not much you can do. Just got to now keep a nice steady pace as you come through St Mary. Give way in about give way, which is on my side. Which is on my side. If you keep going forward, you could actually. Oh, that is skill. That is skill. Wow. That was skill to be able to keep the XT going. Very much a single cylinder as well, everybody. But we did it. We did it at Luke Rides. We did it. Okay. So far so good. And is it clear? It sure is. By that very big sign. Back into, we're still technically in a 30. Not really much we could do right now. It really would have been nice to bring ear defenders. Luke Ride's ears are still covering from yesterday. But yeah, so far so good. And this is what it's about. It's just about ignoring just think for a while where you are absolutely just ignoring, like there is no national observer, and just ride your own ride, and just ride your motorcycle and just chill. And that's what it's about. So we checked our mirrors. We're now going to get our pace on this big enduro. Big enduro, and the national speed limit is 60, so we've got to try and stick to that. So I'm reading the road, right over the hedgerows, and yeah, okay. I think the XT doesn't really want to go any slower than any faster than that on that curve. That was enough. Oh, that was enough there. Brilliant. Well, we shall kind of look at finishing it up now, this ride. This kind of, how do you put it, this, we're going to get a little further into this amazing second check ride, and we're going to do that now. Luke Rides can see a possibility of a car coming. Possibly, okay. I kind of left it a bit late, but you know, yeah, did leave it a bit wet. Whoa. Okay. Still a national. Oh, right. Well, we're going back into a 30.
Cool.
Okay. So she's happier with that gear. Okay. Beautiful. And what a ride. We'll catch you later on the channel. Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And Tim, that was really good that Tim pointed out. Actually, Luke Rides was more confident, smoother, better, and showing his skills more on this second check ride than the first check ride that we had together. And to think that's coming from Tim, who is a police motorcyclist, a police officer, or was a police officer, police motorcyclist. So his training is imagine your normal biker, you're advanced biker motorcyclist, and then holy god tier police motorcyclists. They have training that us normal bikers, us normal motorcyclists do not get to see. So they're coming from him. Thanks for watching. Let's drink that coffee.
The way we...
The little rascal has spirit. As water.
This is the end of the trail for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, kid.
Can we drink the coffee? Drink coffee. Jantunkum. Yep, we can drink the coffee. Yep, really good drinking coffee. Really get it. Really get it.
He's got a lot more to go.